Okay, so went to the hardware store. This is the railing that the wheelchair lock straps lock into. I've got two of them, one's still in the bag, and basically from the edge of this silver strip to the edge of that is 48 inches, which is what we're going to use as our spot for my wife to park, right in there. So one thing I did forget was my tape measure, so I could measure off that wall, and so I could place both of these strips down. So I got to go back in the house and get that. I had a hell of a time getting hardware because they didn't have all of the correct bolts I needed, so I ended up getting two different kinds, and it's kind of hard to tell. You can tell by the heads, but one is a 1/4 by 20, one's a 1/4 by 28, because that's what they had enough in, so I got like half and half. I also got some fender washers for the bottom because, you know, we want strength, because this is going to, in case of an accident, this is going to keep that from pulling through the floor. We also got some smaller washers. I had them all set up, but when I went to check out at the hardware store, the guy unscrewed everything and threw each piece in the bag individually, which kind of causes a problem because the nuts only fit one bolt, and so now I have to figure that out. But let me go get my tape measure. We'll start measuring. I'm going to drill the floor and set them, and then I'm going to have to make a phone call to have someone, either my neighbor or my friend, come over and hold them while I crawl underneath the van here and put the nuts and tighten everything down. But I can at least drill them and get them in place, and that way the other part will be easy. I also have the barbed ends so that I can disconnect that and pull all that hosing back through the floor and get that out of the way. So when I go under the van, I can do everything that I need to under the van and be done. I still need to figure out where the power is connected. I don't know if it's connected to the fuse block or something else. I do know it's keyed, because that only comes on when the key is on. So somewhere over there, I'll need to find the main power wire so I can get rid of it. Yeah, so let me go find my tape measure. Okay, so I just ran into my first speed bump. So where that goes through the floor, just on the other side, is the fuel tank. And I'm not sure if I have enough room between the bottom of the floor and the top of the fuel tank to get these bolts through. And regretfully, I just filled this up, so the tank is full. So I'm going to have to see, because I'm thinking maybe if I move this closer to the middle of the van, so the wife will sit in the middle and she'll be able to see out the front windshield and to the sides. It'll still work. Besides that, we don't want her too far over. In the middle would be good. The only issue is now, if she's here, then it's a little hard to walk around her if she's in place. If she was off to one side, I would need to come in through the side door or something. But we'll figure that out. So I'm taking some measurements, trying to figure out how far over I need to move this strap to clear the gas tank. Or if I'm going to have to drop the gas tank in order to put the strap in, that will definitely be something we'll need to determine. I'll probably put the rear end first, or not. I don't know. The gas tank, and it gives me an excuse to upgrade to the bigger gas tank, I guess. If I have to drop it, I might as well just, do it once. We'll see. All right. So, yeah. All right. So I got to crawl under it. All right. So from the passenger side, that's the gas tank right there. Fuel tank, diesel, whatever you want to call it. So that's it. And it has 3 straps holding it up. That's what it looks like. There's one there, there's one in the middle, there's one at the end. But the drive line's in the way, so I can't really see how much space I have above the tank. Yeah, we got to figure that out. So definitely have to crawl under there for a second. All right, so the gas tank is sitting right between those rails, and I don't know how high it's wedged in there. I really don't want to drill through the floor. All right, stupid train. Okay, so I was able to snake my hand up there a little bit, and it doesn't feel like it goes up around the frame rail or body rail, whatever you want to say that is. But up here, I can't tell. And I'm looking for a spot I can get my hand. But still, in order to put the bolts in, the tank has to come down. Yeah, don't know. All right, so I'm gonna have to figure this out. I guess the cat came to help, or not. Okay, I think I might have come up with an idea. So I know that this is the heater hose that was going to that DC powered heater core. And I know roughly about the center of this hole is about 12 inches from the chrome strip, which would be this little bulkhead right here. So if I could drill into this, make sure I drill into the part that's above this, I won't hit the gas tank because this thing goes all the way across the van. It's pretty substantial. Then I could install riv nuts and I wouldn't need to bolt from the bottom. And then all I have to do is go 48 inches or as close to where I could find another one, like one of these, and I could do the same thing, and I wouldn't need, let me turn this, and I wouldn't need to put the bolts in from the bottom. I could just use riv nuts. And it would clear the gas tank. So I believe that one back there that I just was looking at is 48 inches from this one up here. I'm going to take a quick measurement and hope for the best. Must be train time. Okay, so here's our heater from inside, roughly 1 foot from the center of the hose to the chrome strip. So that means that these screws are on the inside. That's one of the that channel. I think that's going to work. I think that's going to work really nicely, actually. So I'm thinking so the wheelchair ramp is going to be about to here. It's roughly how wide that plate is about 10 inches, I think. So as long as we leave ourselves room for her to sit, if I don't put her all the way against the wall, then we could put like a little table in there or something that she could have so she can put her stuff on so it don't slide around. But I think that would work pretty good. And let's say I left myself that much room. I could step over her feet and still fit between the ramp here. Yeah, it's a lovely December. I'm still running around barefooted. I don't really care. So that would work pretty good, I think. yeah, we would just drill out this big enough so that we could put a rib nut downside there, and then we just and then if I use like that hole, I could just set it on top like that. That gives quite a bit of room on that side, so she's not running into stuff. And then she doesn't her feet don't actually cross this barrier. They'll be back a little bit because this actually goes under. I think we have a plan here. So what I'm going to do is I want to drill one of these out and see what we have. But I think that will work pretty good. Even if I center it a little bit, it should be fine. All right. So yeah. So I need to buy some rib nuts or check my rib nut count, because I think I have. I don't know what I have. I need to go look at my box. But I think we're on to something. So maybe I won't need any help because I'll be able to just do them rib nut style, and then I'll put some thread lock in on there, and that should be pretty good. And then tomorrow I can just unhook the two hoses, pull all that shit down. We have two wires and a ground. I didn't see where these things were plugged into, but it looks like they're crimped and welded or soldered here, which means that the ground is probably just connected to something underneath. So I'll be able to cut these and undo this, and we can pull that out of there. All right. So, and then I still need to vacuum because I hate people who eat sunflower seeds in vehicles and spit them everywhere because they're all over. So let's figure that out. I like where that's sitting. I think that's going to be a good spot. And I believe that's in the strongest part of the van. And then I'll just put the back one wherever. Okay, so I lined the hole up with this track here. This is where we're going to put our center hole. So I drilled, I got that bit on the drill, and I drilled through this aluminum plate, and it just suddenly dropped down into the floor, and you can hear like it's hitting something hard, but it's a bit down there. So I'm thinking I need to take this chrome strip up just to see what the transition is between the floor van and the cabin. We only have 6 screws. It shouldn't take that long. So let's go ahead and pop that out. I want to see what we're looking at before I drill any farther deep. Because again, there's a plastic gas tank down there, and I sure in the hell at this point in time don't want to drill through it. And luckily, I had a T20 here, which seems to be the right size. All right, so let me get these out. Okay, so there is a slight gap between this rubber flooring and the other rubber flooring, and I don't know if you can see, but that's where the drill bit touched down, right in the center of that track. It's kind of where I wanted it. But yeah, there's a little bit of space. Of course, I put the drill bit down inside there so I can't reach it. Yep. So that's quite a bit. So yeah, I'm going to go ahead and drill this into the floor here. And hopefully, I'm pretty sure that's where that bar is, because this is the strongest part of the van, and it seems like it would go straight down. So we're going to slowly drill into that, and if we get into that, I can cut back this little rubber piece or lift it up, and then I can see hopefully what's down inside there. Okay, so I drilled through right until the bit, so I've got this little bit smaller bit, and without hopefully dropping it, okay, so I can go that far and not touch anything. So that's a good thing, because that means I can put a riv nut in there and not have to worry about it making contact. Perfect. And we can do that all the way down this track. Perfect. Whew. Okay, so that solves having to drop the fuel tank. That's a plus. Okay. I know I'm going to drop this drill bit inside that frame. I can just feel it. I want to get a piece, something's a little longer, to see if I can bottom out. Alright, so I went and grabbed my riv tool. Let's see here. So there's 1/4 by 20. So I have a 1/4 by 20 here, but I don't have a 1/4 by 28. 18, 16 metrics. All right, I might have to, it looks like I'm gonna have to order some captures anyway, because there's no way I'm gonna have, what is this, 14 of them. So maybe I can just order up some more of the 1/4 by 20 studs when I do that, or hit another hardware store. So let me see what I have in captures, and then we'll see about trying to place that one. We'll drill it out and figure it out. Okay, so 1/4 by 20, I have enough to do the whole thing. They fit on the ones with the weird 3-point on there. I have 8 of those, which means I need to pick up 6 more. I can either hit the local hardware store, different hardware store, and hopefully they'll have them. But I don't have 1/4 by 1 by 28. So this kit didn't have that size. I could probably just order a new chuck, but is it cheaper to buy 6 screws that I'm going to use? I don't know. So what we're going to do here is we're going to figure out what size drill bit we're going to need to get that in, and we're going to go ahead and drill out that center hole and go from there.